Hello everybody, my name is Paul McKeever, and this is my new guitar build. Alright, so we've got the pickups so that they can be adjusted. We've got the Vega trem set so that it can be adjusted. I haven't done the intonations yet or locked them in place. We've got the tuning machines in place with the strings on. Pickups are connected. The ground's been connected to the trem claw and soldered in place. What do we need to do before we start handling the guitar to any great extent, perhaps playing it? Well, in my personal opinion, you want to have some strap locks. So I've purchased these Schallers. They just call them S-Locks. I don't know if you can read that. So this piece here is going to go into the guitar, screw into the guitar, and it's going to provide basically an anchor point for a strap lock. Okay, so this will be attached to the strap. You can see it's got sort of a horseshoe shape that fits around that bit there. You pull out the clutch, let it go back in. Now it's locked in place. It can't escape. The guitar weight is sitting this way in basically a slot, so it's not going to fall through the anchor or through the strap. Okay, and we're going to put one right here, and we're going to put one right here. The guitar is usually played on a little bit of a slant. I want the mount, the anchor, therefore not to be, you know, like this, but something more like that, on that kind of angle. Okay, this one at the back, it's just straight in. Now this has been too hard to photograph or to video, so I'll just tell you what I've done. I've taken the guitar, I've placed it on my lap, I've put the neck at an angle that I like to play it at, and I've picked an angle, you know, an angle this way, that would cause the strap to be directly straight up where I'm playing the guitar with the angle I like it. And so I've made a little mark right here, and I'm going to be going in on that angle. I like my neck fairly pivoted up, but even if I'm a little low, that's not a big problem because the strap laying slightly over top of the horn here will help relieve any neck dive and whatnot. So I'm going to go in on an angle right there. If I can just get my awl back in the hole. I did a bit of a guide hole, and having compared this item, which is going to go in there, with my set of drill bits, I've decided that I want to go in with a 3/32 of an inch drill bit. I do not want to go in with a 7/64. I could probably get away with it, but if I take away too much matter, that anchor point's just going to want to fall out eventually. So I don't want to have to do that. I'd rather have a bit more bite when that anchor is, you know, screwed into the guitar. In terms of getting a drill to go in on that angle, that's another question. Some people have said, well, do the, you know, the first thing you should do on the body is put the, you know, the anchor point in so that you don't have the neck in the way. That's not something I did. We'll see if it's something I regret not doing, but I'm not about to take everything apart just to put in a strap lock. Now, as we've done in the past, I want to make sure that when I drill the guide hole or the hole for the anchor, that I don't go into the guitar like, you know, more than I need to. There's the length of the two pieces. I don't want to go in further than the screw would go in. So I'm going to mark my flag right about there. I'll go the other way actually. Mark my flag about there. Take out some masking tape to make the flag. Place it right where my thumbnail went. Okay, and there's my depth. That's how far I'm going to go in with the drilling. So as I suspected, the drill is just too large to navigate past the neck. I just don't want to put the anchor in on an angle. I want it to be parallel to the surface of the guitar. All right, so we've got the more difficult one in. I did have some difficulty getting a guide hole started. I just used an awl at the beginning, just for, you know, a couple millimeters. And then I took a drill bit. I could not get the drill in on the angle I wanted to keep, you know, so that the hole would go in level with the front of the guitar, the top of the guitar. I did a little bit of just hand turning with the drill bit, and then I took a smaller screw, the same size of screw that I used on the pickups, which was a number 4, 1 inch long number 4. It's a narrower screw than is what, you know, than mounts this. So I knew I wouldn't be taking away any wood that I still needed. And I took it in, I'd say about, you know, that far. The 1 inch screw didn't go in an inch, it just went in about that far. Pulled it back out, put it back in, pull it back out. In other words, just tried to remove a little bit of the wood. And then I went in with the actual piece of hardware. There's an Allen key turning. I use one of these. Probably have a better one than I have, I don't know. But it just goes in the bottom there and turn clockwise, and in it goes. And incidentally, I didn't notice it when I was looking at it earlier, but there is, you can't see it, but there's some black felt that stays between the wood and the metal anchor. So that's a nice touch on the part of Schaller. Okay, now I'm just going to put the anchor in at the back end of the guitar, which will be much easier because I have steady access to it, or ready access to it with a drill, and I can drill a guide hole and get that one in much easier. All right, so now we've got our anchor point for the back of the guitar. That was pretty simple. Just did a straight drill in right at the midpoint. You can sort of see where the two pieces of wood are butterflied like that. That's the midpoint of the guitar. And then halfway through the guitar is where I put the pinpoint for the anchor at the back. All right. So now we have to put the corresponding strap locks on the strap itself. I'll just show you how that works. All right. So this is the male piece for the strap. There's the front of the strap. There's the back of the strap that'll be against you and against the guitar, and therefore that's the side that this horseshoe-sized or shaped thing needs to go onto. We want gravity to be working for us, so we want it. This is the way the strap will be oriented. So we want the horseshoe to catch the anchor, stick it through the hole in the strap. All right. And once we've got that in, lock it on the other side. Make sure it's good and in there. Take this screw-like attachment, or nut-like attachment, and it looks like it has a little size 0 screw there, a lock screw there, so that after we screw it on tight to the strap, we can then lock it against the back mechanism. Give it one more turn for luck. And then we'll take our number 0, standard screwdriver. And if I'm not mistaken, we've managed to tighten the collar onto the... This is better when you have eyes that aren't 55 years old, of course. All right, here's one. And then do the same thing with the other end, of course. And there you go. So now we should be able to take the guitar. I'm just going to pull out a little bit here. There we go. Slide the horseshoe over the lock, pull out the pin. It's a bit snug, but once it's on there, the pin should pop back down in. And there we are, we're locked in. And we can do the same thing on the other end. So that neither wants to, it won't go either up or down. It's locked in by this pin. And there we go. I think it's time to plug this guitar in. Oh, one final thing. We've had to tighten these strings and loosen these strings and move them around and use them for various things as part of the building of the project, including installing the Vega trim and everything else. What we haven't done as a result of needing those strings to be removable and movable, we haven't done the honors of clipping those wires. So let's just do that as our final construction bit. And now we won't take an eye out. Let's go plug it in.